Hello, welcome to the Art Column. I'm your host, Joseph Almendares. Today we have an amazing show for you. We're going to be exploring studio spaces. What are they? Where are they found? What is their purpose? How they relate to art. We'll be speaking with 3 artists today, and also we'll be touring the HAUSMANN MILLWORKS in San Antonio, Texas, where amazingness happens every single day. Now we're speaking with James HELM, who's a blacksmith, which is, yes, that is an artist. Without further ado, James HELM, tell us a little bit about your artistic life.
When I was going to college, I worked part-time in an artist blacksmith shop in Lubbock. And then after a 2-year career as an English teacher, I went full-time working as a blacksmith.
So we're in your studio. Tell us a little bit about what a studio is and the importance of having a studio for an artist.
Depending on the medium you're working in, you can make art out of absolute junk. But if you don't have the space to do your work, you can't make anything.
So what are you working towards, like, in your artistic career?
Right now I'm at a point where I'm moving from working on smaller items to I've tooled up to where I can start working on larger items. I've got some new machinery in that has been built custom for what I needed.
So you have a studio at the MILLWORKS.
It's been tremendous help. I have gone from working in other people's shops with my little bit of tools that I tried to keep out of their way to being able to have my own space where I put in tools that they didn't have at that shop that will let me do work in my particular niche areas of blacksmithing that I've been wanting to do.
So awesome, there's a discovery. The studio is a very important part of the artist's lifestyle. Well, enough talking. Let's get to the meat and potatoes. Show us around your studio.
I make everything from hand tools like the straw knife to home furnishings like the different kinds of candle holders and sculpture, such as the face sculpture. To see more of my work, visit my blog at www.helmforge.com.
The amazing Rex HAUSMANN. Rex, tell us a little bit about your work.
Well, my work deals a lot with my family, it deals a lot with where I'm from, it deals a lot with texture. A lot about being from San Antonio.
So you say it's about your family.
Yeah, we're from San Antonio, I'm 3rd generation.
Okay, and so how does your family incorporate into your art?
Well, it's like on the front cover of my book here. This is Rex HAUSMANN Painting in Life, which came out in 2007. And both myself and my brother are here pictured struggling together, and this is called The Brother Struggle. When I was in Atlanta and he was in College Station, it is about the chemistry. It's like why is the phrase brotherly love brought about? Why is the predisposition of the Italian culture so close in family, as well as the Hispanic culture? So that's explored a lot. Where you're from, why you're doing what you're doing. I mean, even the painting behind you right here, which is going to the Smithsonian, it talks about me and my brother.
So this show, it's the Art Column, it's dedicated to art and how art is a journey and not necessarily a strict definition of what it is or a location. It's a journey. Where has your artistic journey taken you?
Well, really, it's taken me all over the world. Florence, Mexico City, the Bahamas. And speaking of journeys, not to be shameless in plugging, but my new series, Business is Good and Everyone's Buying, is actually all about journeys.
New York.
Yeah, this is Burju's Coffee, which is a friend of mine from Turkey.
Brooklyn. Can you see that?
And this one here is a Texican in New York. And these are all the different trains that you take while you're in New York and Brooklyn. And I cupcake New York, and there's the tail of a little plane. And actually behind me over here is a map of New York. And the whole new series has about, I think it's 22 chapters about all my friends in San Antonio as well as in New York. It's being edited right now and probably coming out in about 2011 with the Institute of Texan Culture show.
So would you say that as an artist, it is helpful to travel and to explore?
It is. I mean, it really is. It's just like, you embrace your community, you embrace this idea of like kind of a global vision, and it's just looking at a bigger picture.
Awesome. Okay, so it's just like, it's broadening your perspective of your understanding of the world. Really? Do you mind showing us around your studio?
Yeah, sure. Come on.
Awesome. Well, let's go look at a studio.
A studio is where an artist creates. Where we got some friends over here, John, Carlos, and Benji, and fam.
Hi guys.
Hey, Benji. So visitors always come to the studio. This is my studio, and it's really where you produce work. It's kind of like your little world inside of a world, and it's really the production studio side of things. So hope you enjoy the studio and seeing a little bit of the painter's palette and some of the work that's coming in process.
Okay, we're lucky to have Kevin Rayhons. He's an artist working in San Antonio. We're in his studio right now. So Kevin, how did you get started in art? What started you off?
I always did drawings as a kid. I remember I used to do multi-page little stick figure scenes and things like that.
Like the flip books, right?
No, well I did flip books too,
Yeah.
but I did multi-panel where I had a scene start here and it would continue across 2 or 3, 4 pages or so.
Awesome.
And yeah, I was a kid, and so it was little war scenes and had little stick figure tanks and little trenches and helicopters coming above. So it was all sorts of things, underground bases, you know.
Oh, sounds
and
awesome.
so I was always doing art as a kid. Then I went to college and just decided one day that I needed a major and I was going to make it art because I only wanted to do art.
Okay, well I noticed you seem to be moving into the MILLWORKS. Tell me, what brought you here?
Well, I've known about the MILLWORKS for about a year now, and I've talked to Rex a lot, and he's the, you know, Rex is the one who actually owns the MILLWORKS and runs it, and he's been talking to me. He's actually been trying to get me a studio for a while now, and I finally decided to make the decision to come over here. I already had a studio in my apartment beforehand, and what really drove me to come over here was getting the exposure, because he does bring a lot of people through the MILLWORKS on a regular basis, but also the community that's around it. You know, a week before I decided to move in here, I was sitting in my studio and I was miserable because I had no one to talk to and no one to bounce ideas off of. And so I decided to come over here and set up shop, and it's been great. I've only been here a week and it's been great.
Well, thank you for showing us around your studio. It's great, man. Like, I'm glad that your journey and our journey have met today. If you like what you've seen, please visit his website. It's krayhons.com. Okay, so we're here talking with the HAUSMANN family about the MILLWORKS.
This is Renee and Jean and Rex, and we're the Hausmanns.
Hello.
3 out of 4. There's an Eric too.
And Eric's going to be represented by the piano over there. But the MILLWORKS started about 2.5 years ago and has become a studio program in San Antonio that, you know, is just a creative community.
And we're an incubator. We help to give interested people who want to be artists a path.
Basically, the whole program grew out of just this necessity we didn't even know existed.
Well, and that is initially how it started, was the need for space that was affordable.
What is the PAVE program?
P is for people, A is for access, V is for vision, and E is for encouragement. Meaning that you have people here who are of like mind, artists, and you have people who come to visit the artwork that is made here at the MILLWORKS. So you have access to directors of museums and curators. And then vision, where we basically try to get you together at least once a month with a variety of programs and topics to give you some type of vision for your art career. And then basically just an encouraging environment.
You spoke about vision. Rex, tell us a little bit about your vision for the MILLWORKS.
You know, our vision as a family is really to make a network of studios throughout the U.S.
Yeah.
What we're doing is bringing artists from New York to San Antonio.
That's
we're
what we
bringing
need to say.
artists from
Yeah.
LA to San Antonio. We're bringing artists from Miami to San Antonio.
Bringing contemporary art to San Antonio.
Contemporary art. Well, we're trying to put San Antonio on the contemporary art map.
I mean, you got Luminaria, you've got all this different stuff going on, and the hope is that we're just connecting the dots.
So how does an artist join this creative community, the HAUSMANN MILLWORKS?
We have openings at least every 6 weeks in our gallery space, and that's how we get to know most of our artists. And then we give them tours, and if we have an available studio, we just sign you up for a minimum of an annual lease, And a lot of people stay for a minimum of 3 years.
Can you take us on a tour?
Yeah, let's go.
As we continue our journey.
Oh yes, we're so excited. Okay, Joseph, I'm glad you're here, but the real person who knows every single person in all their works is Rex HAUSMANN. He's the director.
So, with that, you've got Fernando Andrade in here. He's one of our young painters.
Tell me about this. Who's this?
This is some of my work that's the most fabulous thing you've ever seen. This is David the blind swimmer. Very nice, Joseph. We've got Kevin with his Manu Comics. He's actually making some work right now. Lori Dietrich and Sarah Berry, they're photographers. Scott and Pam Carpenter, they're architects. Victoria Campbell, she's actually in New York. This is an artist named Michelle Corollo, who's out in New York. We've got Capoeira Luanda, which is in here. This is a blueprint of our buildings and all of our artists that are in residence right now. And where you are is right here, and then these are all our studios. This is Jake Stanley. He's a graphic designer that does large format printing. This is David Almaguer, who just finished a show in Denver. You've got Mark and Victoria Campbell. This is my studio.
I want to know everything about this piece right here.
This piece right here is about my mom and my dad and how they met, actually. This is in the new series, Business is Good and Everyone's Buying. The book is going to be edited by Phil Arevalo. Dwayne's right here, and his heater, actually. So Dwayne and his large format paintings, one that he's working on right now. And then we've got Fernando Andrade right here. We've got David Segura here.
Well, thank you for joining us once again on the art column. Also, we'd like to thank Eric HAUSMANN for providing us with this music. We want your feedback. Please email us at theartcolumn@gmail.com or send video responses or comments or message us on YouTube. We want to know what you're thinking. We want to know what you think we should explore. Also, join us next week. We're going to have a really great show. We have 3 new artists and we'll be touring a gallery in San Antonio, Texas. So please join us. Once again, if you like what we're doing, please subscribe to our channel. It's this button right here.